Back in the early 1970s, as NASA engineers pushed the boundaries of space exploration during the tail end of the Apollo program, they needed to simulate the harsh, unfiltered sunlight found beyond the Earth's atmosphere. A team of innovative engineers at Fairfield, New Jersey, rose to the challenge, developing a sophisticated solar simulator for the Johnson Space Center. This device was a portable sun capable of replicating the spectrum of light needed to test spacecraft materials and systems in a controlled environment. When the project concluded, that groundbreaking technology didn't just gather dust. Instead, it sparked a revolution in portable lighting. This is the story of Streamlight and how they transformed that bright idea from NASA into a powerhouse that disrupted the entire weapon-mounted light industry. A private investor from the Philadelphia area named Harry French spotted the commercial potential in this high-intensity lighting technology. He relocated the operation to King of Prussia, Pennsylvania, and in 1973, Streamlight Incorporated was officially born with just a handful of employees and one flagship product, a 1 million candle power handheld searchlight adapted from that same solar simulator research that was designed for NASA. This thing was an absolute beast, literally a compact, lightweight halogen super flashlight, packing nearly 1 million candela of raw power. It was capable of throwing a focus beam over a mile and shining 50 times brighter than any automobile headlight at the time. Featuring a xenon bulb for true color rendition, it provided excellent target identification and was marketed as a non-lethal defensive tool. It was ideal for surveillance, search and rescue, or even disorienting threats without firing a single shot. The light was powered by a 12-volt rechargeable pack or even a car battery, and it included options like infrared models for covert operations. But it was priced high for the era, over $1,000 on some accounts. Even with that price tag, it quickly caught on with military, law enforcement, and first responders around the country who needed a reliable illumination method for life and death situations. But this newly minted Streamlight didn't just stop at space-inspired spotlights. They swiftly expanded their lineup, pivoting to a range of professional-grade lights tailored specifically for law enforcement and military professionals. Building on that NASA foundation, they established a reputation for durability and performance. Their lights were often waterproof and shockproof, and they were engineered to withstand the toughest jobs, from midnight patrols to blazing infernos where firefighters were working out in California. By the late 1970s, Streamlight had relocated their headquarters to Norristown, Pennsylvania, setting the stage for further expansion in the 1980s before they ultimately moved to their current 240,000 square foot facility in Eagleview, Pennsylvania in November of 2001. This move was done to accommodate their steady growth and an ever-expanding product line. Today, as an ISO 9001-2015 certified outfit, they maintain rigorous quality standards across design, manufacturing, and marketing of their portable light solutions. During the 1980s, their lineup exploded with innovations like the iconic SL20 series of rechargeable flashlights that was introduced in the early part of the decade with durable aluminum bodies, halogen bulbs for superior brightness, and rechargeability that made them favorites among law enforcement and first responders because guys didn't like changing out their batteries all the time. They also began developing headlamps for hands-free use in confined spaces and powerful scene lights to flood large areas during emergencies. They always prioritized waterproofing seals to survive submersion, shockproof construction to handle drops from heights, and resilience in extreme conditions from scorching heat all the way to freezing cold. But here's what truly sets Streamlight apart from the garage tinkerers and the one-off inventors. A rock-solid design philosophy deeply rooted in real-world needs, where innovation starts and ends with the people who rely on their equipment to survive every single day. The team at Streamlight has immersed themselves in their customers' worlds. Streamlight's team is often found going through rigorous firefighting training simulations or taking specialized courses in low-light shooting tactics. This feedback wasn't put into a silo either. This hands-on approach ensured that they understood the split-second demands faced by cops fumbling for clarity on rain-slicked night patrols or soldiers maneuvering through pitch-black houses under direct enemy fire. It also made sure that they understood what it was like to be a firefighter, navigating disorienting smoke-filled buildings where visibility is extremely limited. It was this relentless user-driven ethos that they treated as gospel, and it turned Streamlight into the go-to brand for their customers. Fast forward to the early 2000s, and the weapon-mounted light market was primed for a shakeout. Surefire had long held the throne with their bomb-proof lights like the X300 series that delivered unmatched durability and beam quality, but at premium prices often north of $300 for the entry-level models. This priced out many departments and civilians who didn't have a sideways 8 on their budget documents. They kicked it off with the original TLR-1, which was a compact, rail-mounted juggernaut packing high lumens, impressive run times, strobe modes, and later even integrated lasers, all at half the cost or sometimes even less than half the cost. The genius was in Streamlight's smart engineering, balancing raw brightness with efficient battery life to avoid mid-fight blackouts. It also had intuitive one-handed operation for seamless activation under stress and potted electronics that sealed internals against recoil, drops, and grime, which is exactly what Streamlight had always been known for prior to this model. Models like the TLR-1HL blasted at 1,000 lumens, while the compact TLR-7A fit all of your subcompact handguns with 500 lumens of light and customizable switches, effectively democratizing pro-level WMLs for everyday carriers across the nation. Sure, the team at Surefire often won in the extreme abuse tests with tighter, more focused beams and premium materials, but Streamlight's value equation was solid reliability without the wallet-draining markup, and that lit a fire under competitors, forcing innovations and price drops across the board. It wasn't just undercutting. By the mid-2010s, TLRs had become must-haves in both law enforcement agencies and in the civilian holster market, exploding WML demand and growing that market as more users realized you didn't need to make a car payment just to put a flashlight on your firearm. Now, what made this brilliant from a business standpoint? Streamlight rode the wave of LED advancements and rechargeable technology to slash their production costs while cranking up their output. They tackled perennial WML headaches like excessive weight that threw off the balance or rapid battery drain that left you in the dark, and that enhanced operational safety without prematurely giving away possessions to threats. Troops and cops began ditching government-issued dimmers for Streamlights out of pocket. It flipped the budget brand into a symbol of savvy selection, because why pay more when Streamlight stuff just performs? Success with TLRs flung open doors across the tactical ecosystem for Streamlight, cementing their disruption by proving that affordable innovation will win markets regardless of what people say on Instagram. By the 2010s, they unleashed the ProTac series of handheld lights with just beastly output, like the original ProTac 1L from 2016, which delivered up to 350 lumens in a compact multi-fuel design that set new standards for both versatility and easy EDC reliability. This series evolved rapidly, with models like the ProTac 2.0 in 2022 ramping up to 2,000 lumens with advanced SLB50 batteries for even long run times on an already outstanding flashlight. Streamlight wasn't just replacing their old tech here. They were fixing decades of good enough designs with smarter features like USB rechargeability, multi-fuel options, and eco-friendly builds that helped them reduce their waste and subsequently cost. They proved that their disruption wasn't just a flash in the pan, but a sustained beam forward. Get it? A sustained beam forward? I'll see myself out. What's Streamlight's ethos? Simple. American-made excellence with an unwavering focus on the end user, blending rugged reliability with innovative design and value that their customers can count on when the lights go out. Literally. I really got to stop with the dad jokes. Now, I hope I get these names right, but under CEO Raymond L. Shira, who steered the ship since the early days, and the fresh leadership of President Michael F. Dinson, who was just promoted in February of 2025 from Chief Revenue Officer, they're doubling down on their e-commerce expansion and strategic partnerships. They're also working on revenue growth to light up new markets. You thought I was done with the dad jokes? Now, there's no dramatic relocations or political statements here, like some of their competitors who've packed up over regulations, but instead there's a steady, behind-the-scenes commitment to innovation amid rising global security needs, ensuring that their lights stay on for first responders worldwide. And yes, let's address the Chinese elephant in the room. In a market swamped with budget imports from fully Chinese-based brands like Olight that undercut on price, Streamlight navigates the global supply chain smartly in today's world. While their headquarters and key operations remain firmly in Eagleview, Pennsylvania, handling design, assembly, and all of their rigorous testing and quality assurance, many of their products, including the TLR WMLs and the ProTech handhelds, are initially manufactured in China with components that are sourced worldwide to keep the costs down and Streamlight's disruption alive. They have a hybrid approach of US oversight on top of their overseas production, and that lets them deliver lights that outlast and outperform all of the pure knockoffs that are on the market. This dodges user complaints like inconsistent beams or failures in extreme conditions, and that boils down to the American excellence that's behind Streamlight. This fuels loyalty among their customers who value the buy once, cry once mentality of buying gear, and that positions Streamlight as a smart disruptor that balances affordability with American-led standards, all while supporting US jobs and R&D operations right here in the United States. Now, look at any duty belt or rifle today versus, say, 2000. The shift is huge. High lumen LEDs with modular mounts and affordable, reliable lights are all elements that Streamlight pioneered, and it's now the baseline. In 2000, WMLs were niche and they're stupid pricey. Now, thanks to Streamlight's ability to disrupt the space, they're pretty much the standard on any build that you do. As of October 2025, Streamlight's cranking out hits like the ProTech HP X USB series and new EDC tools. You should expect more smart integrations and sustainable designs and pushes into emerging markets with a focus on high performance yet accessible gear. From their early NASA roots in a Pennsylvania shop to an industry-defining powerhouse, Streamlight set out to solve lighting problems in the dark. That solution became a philosophy of tough, smart, affordable illumination. And that philosophy also built a company that changed how professional shooters and everyday carriers approach tactical weapon lights. And honestly, that's pretty much what you'd expect from a group of guys trying to build a portable sun. Now, check out our complete weapon-mounted light guide and let us know down in the comments section if you think we should do a breakdown of all these weird light names. We'll see you in the next one.